Hey everyone, this is Cat 6 Crit King bringing you another race video. This is the first race of the 2020 Triad Criterium Series. This is our local North Carolina Criterium Series that's hosted by Mountain Events. And I am once again racing for Custom Air, Team Custom Air. This year should be a really exciting season. We have a lot of good teams. The competition should be really high. And I'll talk a little bit about the other teams as we get into the racing. And talk a little bit about my strategy for these local crits. Really, for me, I'm always looking for breakaways. I'm not a big sprinter, not a big pack sprinter. I've had all my success in the past from breakaways, and honestly it's just more fun, and I'm really just out here to have fun and enjoy the race and get a good workout. So we skip ahead a little bit into the race. This is probably just a few minutes into the race, but there's a couple guys up the road, I think two, and I go ahead and put in an effort to bridge up there and see what I can do. I like to try to be a part of every single break. You never know what's going to happen. I think the most frustrating thing in crit racing is to pick the wrong break and watch the successful one ride away for the win. That's my biggest pet peeve. So if you're in all of them, you can't miss it. So I bridge up to these guys, and also I'm looking at team mixtures, of course. Trying to pick breakaways where most of the teams are represented out here. There's not a lot of teams, but we do have two guys and myself in this break, so that's three of basically the three strong teams, along with this guy who's in front now, who's never seen him before race out here. He's obviously a junior, but really strong, pulling really hard. I think he just won the 4-5 right before this. So a little footage of the breakaway action. And when I'm on the front, I'm pulling as hard as I can to try to establish a gap and make this break successful. Really no slacking off. I'm really giving it pretty much everything I have when I'm pulling, certainly in the beginning. So I think there's 5 people total in this break, and in all honesty, with the people we have in here, the teams are represented, even though it's really early in the race, there's no reason that this shouldn't be successful. If we had all worked together, it would have for sure worked out. And then we do eventually get pulled back. This is one of my teammates in front of me now, Randy, who's the designated sprinter of the group for sure. Big sprint. Pulled back together here, but I think there is a small group up the road at this point as well. And I also like to let breaks get established and let gaps open up a little bit and see what's going to happen. So there's a decent gap, a break's established. I see my another teammate, Eric, going. And we have a great position right here where we can bridge up and be two guys together in this break and really dominate it. He takes the corner, a bad line through the corner, and loses a lot of speed right there. And I think he was worried about not being able to make it up to this group, or not wanting to waste it, and doubting whether this was going to be a successful move. But like I said, I just kind of sell out on all these moves and see what happens. So I pretty much play every breakaway like it's the one that's going to win. And as soon as I get there, I try to move to the front and start working. I think for breakaways to be successful, it's all about those first few moments, and how hard people are working in the very beginning is important to whether it's going to be successful or not. It's not the time to take it easy. I mean, the first few pulls for everyone have to be pretty much max pulls. in order to really establish that break and to be successful. And we've already dropped someone in the break, so we are just the three of us now. So just the three of us in this break. I think my first effort separated one of the guys that established the break. So, but three strong guys in this break, and definitely fully committed to making this work. This is later in the race, even though we still got probably 25 minutes left. Passing a lap rider here, and as you can see in this little slight uphill section, trying to pull 400, 500 watts, definitely over threshold. And then right here, the guy in black pulls through, and then this guy in blue is obviously getting a little tired and was going to skip a turn. And I suggested he pull through, and it definitely gave me the idea that me and this guy in black might be able to separate ourselves and get away with just the two of us, which in hindsight was pretty dumb. I mean, the three of us would have been fine just riding to the end, but first race, just trying to try stuff out, and little excited, and definitely not as cautious as I could have been. But so actually I'm signaling to the guy behind me, I'm going to go ahead and put an attack on this guy as soon as he's done with his pull and see if we can drop him. So that's what I do, and the guy behind me in the black, he jumps on my wheel right away. So I'm thinking, him and I can separate from this guy in the teal and stay away for the rest of the race. But it was a total wasted effort. Great effort by Joseph from Benissimo, another good team out here, to follow that attack, and that was pretty foolish. I mean, there's still like 20 minutes left, which is a long time to be in the break, and trying to drop someone that early in wasn't a good idea. But anyway, he caught back on, and he actually continues to work, which is pretty great. If that were me, I probably would have sat on the back and said I was done pulling at that point. But luckily, he still wanted to make the break work, and at this point, we have a massive gap on the group. The race is pretty much, we're competing for first, second, and third right now. We have half a lap, sometimes more. It looks like if we had put in a hard effort, we could have caught the back end of the pack. But and at this point, we're getting a little bit late into the race, and my legs start cramping up really bad. Both my calves are cramping up. The first race of the season, definitely not full race fitness, and all these early efforts have definitely caught up to me, and I'm starting to regret some of all the effort I've put in to make this race lively. But that's how I like to race. So anyway, this is actually last lap. So this is last lap, and Joseph from Benissimo, he goes on an early effort, which he kind of sneaks away a little bit, but then he's got great sustained power, and it takes me a lot longer to close this gap than I'd hoped for. And obviously he recognizes that we're on his wheel now. I'm cramping up at this point, like totally seized. And this is the sprint for it here. I mean, you got to make your move here to be the first of this corner. And basically, as soon as we make this corner, both my calves are locked up, and I've got nothing left. I really want to get second out of all the work I put in, so luckily I'm able to do that. Great race by the guy in black, and that's it. I'll have the next race video up in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching.